Funerals perform a small miracle. They make the finality of a thing public. We performed it precisely. The weeks after were slow and cotton-stubbed. The village hummed its condolences, and life continued, with a careful stitch across the missing place. Then, 5 days later, in the life I had been living, the impossible happened. Zaid stood at the door, as if conjured from an old photograph. He was wet, as if some other weather had been on him. His hair lay strange. His eyes were oddly composed. He did not look like someone who had been dug from the ground. He looked like someone who had been kept in a different book and then read out loud. We did the things the living do. We held him. We checked him. We counted fingers, as if a hand can prove a miracle. My mother pressed small kisses to his cheeks until she laughed with a noise that was almost a sob. My father laughed and then fell quiet. Ursa's hands shook when she reached to touch him. People came, and their faces were the faces of a village trying to be certain of its own calendar. They spoke awkwardly about days and years. Because the hollower cheats with time, because it folds its rooms and keeps what it takes in a geography that ignores clocks, something strange had happened. For Zaid, 5 days had been 5 days. A blink, a long blink of corridor and cold. For the world we had left outside the hollower, 5 years had been written on the margin. The market man remembered different ledgers. The priest frowned at different dates. I was startled to find, when I compared ledger to ledger, that my hand fit easier into Zaid's palm than it should. He had not aged. Some chronology had been stolen. No one moved from the house in those years. Why would they? How could they, when a grave sat by the river with our son in it? They could not imagine leaving him alone. The house took on the air of a mausoleum and a stubborn garden both. Friends and neighbors came less often, and the rooms gained small habits of mourning. Cups saved in the back of cabinets. Curtains kept half-drawn as if to preserve an absence. Zaid told us scraps. Corridors that breathed. Rooms with clocks stopped at odd minutes. A woman who wrote names on paper and folded them into pockets. He could not explain how he had come back. He remembered the Seaman Edge, where the hollowers ruled thin-downed. Then the next thing was the outside again. He did not look healed. He looked taut.